8 months earlier. The door to the studio buzzed, a sound as loud and abrasive as a dentist's drill. It cut through the hiss of traffic from the Mission District, a sound that bled through the thin second-story window. The room itself was a crime against architecture, a cramped, scalene triangle of space wedged above a Thai restaurant. Its primary sensory note was the faint, clinging smell of stale curry and peanut sauce. This was a space for talking, not for history. Elliot Rourke, the host, leaned over his console. He was a man who lived for ideas, but looked tired of living. Early 40s, a worn blazer over a faded t-shirt that might have been cool a decade ago. He had once been a journalist, one of the decent ones, but the grind had chewed him up. Now, his podcast, Thinking Forward, was his lifeboat. It drew maybe 50,000 listeners, enough to pay for the rented room and the curry smell. Tonight's topic felt heavy, but manageable. AI at the crossroads, regulate or accelerate. Elliot looked at the two empty chairs across from him, the microphones poised like small black fists. He expected a solid 90-minute debate. What he got instead was gasoline. The buzzer sounded again. Governor Marcus Halloran walked in first. Halloran was a man sculpted for politics. Mid-50s, perfect wings of gray at his temples, a jaw like a gavel. His navy suit was ironed so sharp it could cut. He smelled of expensive cologne, a clean antiseptic scent of citrus and cedar that did not belong with the curry. "Elliot, good to be here," he said, his voice a smooth, confident baritone. He sat, adjusting the crease in his trousers. They waited. 5 minutes passed, then 10. Halloran checked his watch, his smile holding, but his eyes turning cold. Then the door opened again. No buzz, just the sound of the handle turning. Kieran Vale arrived late. No entourage, no notes, no apology. He wore scuffed boots, a leather jacket that had seen too many airports, and a plain black t-shirt that read, in simple white font, "Entropy happens." At 41, Vale carried the wreckage of an academic career he'd walked away from. MIT professor turned whistleblower. He had seen the inside of the machine, the corporate partnerships, the ethics committees that were just rubber stamps for profit, and he had set it on fire. When he stepped into the room, the temperature seemed to drop. Halloran's expensive cologne vanished, instantly neutralized by the faint, sharp smell of ozone. Vale sat down, nodded to Elliot, and gave Halloran a look, not of aggression, but of simple, tired recognition. Like a mechanic looking at a beautifully polished car he knows has a cracked engine block. The red on-air light blinked on. A tiny, significant sun in the dusty room. "Welcome back to Thinking Forward," Elliot began. "Tonight we're talking about AI. Governor Halloran, you've been one of the loudest voices calling for a national pause on advanced AI development. Why?" Halloran leaned in, smooth as a television commercial. "Because, Elliot, without regulation, advanced AI poses an existential threat to our way of life. It will wipe out millions of jobs. It will destabilize our democracy. We cannot allow machines to move faster than the law. We need guardrails. And guardrails are not fear. They are protection." It was a good answer, polished, reassuring. Elliot turned. "Dr. Vale?" Kieran Vale smiled. It was a faint, humorless expression, the smile of a man who had already been shown the blade. "Protect people, Governor? Where exactly are they protected now?" Halloran's smile froze. Vale leaned forward, drawing the microphone to him. "Are they protected at the banks that own their homes? The same banks that crashed the economy in 2008 and got bailed out with their tax dollars? Are they protected at the universities that bury them in loans they'll never escape? Are they protected at the hospitals that charge $10,000 for a ride in an ambulance?" He paused, letting the silence fill the room. "People aren't protected, Governor. They're cornered. They're prey. And it wasn't AI that did it. It was humans. The governor stiffened. We're talking about AI, Dr. Vale. Not mortgages. Let's stay on topic. No, Vale said, his voice softer now. We're talking about the same story, written again and again. A few people in control, everyone else in chains. The technology is just the new chapter.